All right, guys, welcome back in Insidethepodwlou here. Like we start every podcast with a Bible verse, and today's Bible verse led us to the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. It says, "Don't store up treasures here on earth where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal." Matthew 6:19. And with that being said, I'm with...
What's up, everybody?
Oh, sorry.
No, you can. What's up, everybody? It's Martin from the Broke Boys.
All right, man. So thank you for stopping by.
No, thank you for having me, man. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege to be here, and you have such an amazing home and feeling comfortable because I know like this is your safe space.
Yeah, no. And that's kind of been the hard part about doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Is that we do it out of our home. So it's like when I see you, bro, you're like you're mobile.
Yeah.
Like you like legit do them at the lake. You do them in studios. Yeah. You've done it at the theater.
The theater.
I mean, bro, you are like doing your thing, bro. So like, and you've been doing this now for what, 3 years?
3 years, bro.
Yeah. So I think that's like a testament to you, bro. That people that are out there watch us and they watch us do this. Like, I don't think they quite understand like what goes into, creating content, being a podcaster.
You have to be creative the whole time. You have to find what you want to do and what you're passionate about doing. That's a key thing, is to be passionate about it, because if not, you're just doing it just for the fuck of it, or for the money of it. Am I allowed to cuss? I forget.
Yeah, run your thing, do your thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I do a Bible verse, and I asked, what's your relationship with the Lord later on in the podcast. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, bro, like we're human.
Yeah,
we're not.
I just want to clear.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, I worked in corrections for 10 plus years. Yeah. You're not gonna say nothing that's gonna be like, I'm used to it.
But it's your platform.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. But I appreciate the you saying that. So,
oh, thank you, man. But yeah, like there's people out here that do it for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. They don't do it for hey, they enjoy it or they're passionate about it. They just see it as a money grab sometimes, and it is a positive thing when you do get paid for this,
for sure,
no doubt. But never forget when you start or how you started. And you started from the bottom.
Yeah.
You did nothing coming in, and just pure fun, pure enjoyment. Something that I love to do, even with content, getting some clips here and there. Like you were seeing me kind of do, because again, I love creating content. I love doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually know how to do, like, you edit your own videos.
Yeah.
That's a big plus, bro.
I used to edit my own videos. Now I'm partnered up with Create Studio. Shout out to my boy Chango.
Oh, shout out.
He's I don't know if you saw my recent one in downtown. I actually was able to get a drone footage while we were doing the podcast.
Okay. I do watch a lot of your stories because like you said, you do be posting in your stories.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you had on Isaiah, the comedian, right? Shout out to Isaiah.
Shout out.
It's funny because I saw him initially. The first time I ever met him or I knew of him was at Concrete.
Wow.
They did a comedy
show. Yeah.
And so I have one of my buddies, shout out to Tenacious T and to Oscarin's Kitchen, the two of my buddies. We all went, we took our girls, right? We went to this comedy club, and we first time ever checking out a comedy show. Yeah. And so then like Isaiah's a security guard at the time, and they call him up, bro, and he does like a little 5-minute segment. He kills it. He does great. Funny.
He's funny.
But I was like, is this part of the skit, or like, is he legit a security guard, or like what is this, And then ever since then, it kind of like, I didn't really remember. I'm so new to social media.
Right.
I'm new to kind of how all this is. Now I can say in January, I won't say I'm new no more, because I'll have a whole year in, but this is my first year really like kind of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Right.
And so I didn't know, what's this. And when I seen him on one day, and he was on a live, I would have never like probably ever landed him, because he has all these followers.
Yeah,
you know how it is. I mean, you're getting there, but your DM kind of can start to be flooded, and then people get kind of like lost in the
sauce.
Yeah. And so it's like, I saw him on your platform, and where I messed up is, and you'll be able to see it when I drop his content. Right. And this is why I told myself, this is why I don't like watching other people's podcasts, because he had told me like he wanted it to, I just did 2 in a row. I didn't want it to be the same, but he's like, I ain't tripping. We'll just do it.
Right.
And I like to be real, raw, and authentic.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we've been talking. That's why I was like, you know what? Let's start the camera, bro.
Yeah.
We were having like our own little mini podcast already.
Right.
And it was good content. And I really want the people out there to see it.
Yeah.
Like, you're a genuine guy, bro. Like,
I appreciate that, man.
I feel like since the first time we talked, it's kind of been just, I really love your story. And that's why I really want us to get to know it now. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, you've been in the podcast game 3 years now. You're from Fresno, but just kind of give us a little bit more about who Martin is from Boyz.
So I was born and raised Fresno, California. you know, I grew up in a one income household. I've talked about it a lot on my platform. I've opened up a lot about certain trauma. There's things that I like to keep out from my platform. But I have talked about it. You know, I grew up with an abusive father, an alcoholic.
Okay.
And it was kind of hard. Like growing up was very rough. There was moments that, you know, hey, my dad wasn't always present. And he was a field worker. And then when I was 13, I started working in the fields with him, trying to, you know, make my money. And again, like, we were low income. We weren't middle class. Like we were very low income. So we used to live in a trailer home out of the property that we work at. So it was a lot of moments of, hey, I'm gonna work as much as I can to save up enough bread so that way I can buy myself a backpack, some shoes. Obviously, like the economy back then with like $150, you would buy yourself a backpack, shoes, clothes. You would buy hella shit.
Yeah.
Like nowadays with
$100 was actually $100.
Right.
Yeah.
Nowadays you could barely afford the shirt with just $100.
I agree. You know, like right now, a shout out to your sponsors that gave us this hat and this shirt, right?
Shout out to Never Trusted. But yeah, so I had to learn very early on the value of money. And again, I had to grind. I had to figure things out. And, you know, school was never for me. I never wanted to go to college. I never wanted to really pursue anything. I just wanted to figure out my own life. And, you know, I grew up in this environment of, hey, we work with our hands. These hands, I'm not afraid to get them dirty. I've always been, you know, hands-on, hard labor and anything. So as I was working in the fields, I worked there for 11 years. In the mix of that as well, I was doing a side, almost like a side gig. It would be in the weekends and I would be a bouncer. Okay. And I was a bouncer for like 8 years. And then at the same place where I'm at now, where I was a bouncer, now I just, you know, bartend and I help out others, like train others at the same facility. And I haven't switched up on them because they're like family. They took me in a lot, and I'm very appreciative of them.
So you still do that on the side? You still bartend?
I still bartend on the side. I just like, you know, it's their family. You know, I don't want to disclose their name. I haven't because there's some stories that I've talked about.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good.
But they are incredible. They're like family. So I've always helped them out.
I think that's always a good thing as far as like remembering where you came from and remembering who was there for you. And, you know, the come up.
Yeah, exactly. So I never left. I've always helped them out. After high school, I was working in the towing business.
Where did you go to high school, if you don't mind me asking?
At Central East High School.
Okay. Shout out Central East.
Shout out Central East. And I, you know, growing up, it was very difficult. Like I never was able to kind of fit in sometimes. Sometimes I was very alone, and sometimes I had, you know, a huge group of friends. But I've always been alone. I've always, you know, dealt with things on my own. And first and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to Catalina. She's been my rock since she met me. She's my high school sweetheart. I love her to death. She always supports me in any way, shape, or form, no matter how ridiculous my ideas sound, but she's always there. And
well, it always does take a strong woman to be behind. This is not easy.
No,
you know,
no, it's not.
Martin and Louie want to do what they want to do, and we have all these ideas. And you know, it's for the Catalinas out there and the Lissas out there of the world. I mean, you need a strong support system, and it's gonna be when we get older. Obviously, it's great to have your parents and family and friends, but let's be honest, bro. When that door closes, it's you and your woman, you know. And I felt like that hit because you saw right now, who is the
for sure
person behind the scenes.
Very early on in the podcast game too, she was always like helping me out, and she was excited if I was excited. You know, she was always, "What are you gonna do next?" She would encourage me, and again, like you know, back to the whole thing. I never wanted to go to school.
Yeah, hey, same. I'm telling you right now, I can relate.
But my boss at the time here that I was working in the fields, he was just like, "Hey, like, you don't ever want to like do something else. Like, you don't want to do this for the rest of your life either. You know, like it's hard. You know, minimum wage and working long hours, no overtime. Like, it's a lot of shit that you deal with as a field worker." And I was just like, I don't know, like maybe but school was never for me. And he was like, well, just try. He was just like, just go to college, go to community.
I was like, did you end up going to school?
I did. Okay. I went for 2 years and I got my criminology degree, and I didn't pursue anything further.
Let me know, bro. I got some plugs in law enforcement. I got you.
I tried doing that. I tried really hard to get into law enforcement, and I just never got the opportunity. And every time, like, I would go to the academy to do the tryouts, right? Mm-hmm. They would always be like, hey, like, you know, I'm just letting you guys know, and before in advance, we only have 3 spots available out of like the 60 people that are there. So just try to outperform everybody, and then you're just trying to, you know, get recruited to be a cadet in any cadet program that they got. But again, you're competing with everybody, and there's people that are coming out fresh out of the military that are getting priority over everything.
Yeah.
So it was hard. And eventually, you know, after I kept getting rejected and getting my, you know, the door closed, I was just getting more and more like
discouraged.
You know, not even discouraged, but more of like, maybe this isn't for me, which is why I never wanted to go to get my bachelor's.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to Fresno State because, again, I was paying for my own school.
Yeah.
So I don't got pockets like that for Fresno State. And especially if you're working in the fields, man, for sure. I barely got pockets for what I want to do.
Exactly.
So again, and there was one day, and I always tell this story. There was one day that I was coming home from work and after in the fields, and I was working 16 hours. I was during the almond season, and I was working in the harvester. So I was driving the main machine, picking up the almonds. Now, a lot of people think that it's enclosed cab, AC and everything. Nah, man. I'm goggles, mask, you know, covered like head to toe from dirt and dust, almond dust. I get home late, and my brother-in-law is sitting there on the couch, and he's just like, hey, like, you ever thought about truck driving? Because he was getting his license. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't feel like I want to be a truck driver my whole life. But he was just like, but I mean, it'll get you earning more and working less. You know, I thought about it, and then it kept sitting in my mind, almost like haunting me, you know. And I was just like, well, maybe I'll give it a shot. And I gave it a shot. And then when I got my license, I was like, okay, well, maybe this could be a thing. And I full-fledged just dove into it with the company that I'm with now, and I enjoy it. I don't mind it. I don't mind the work that I do. I wish I was able to speak freely more about it, but because I can't, for their contracts that we had to sign.
No, for sure.
Hired early on, but it is in the beer industry. It is delivering beer, and like I said, it's not a hard job, but again, I come from working in the field.
Yeah.
And there's people that are like, they won't last like 3 months. It's a difficult job for sure. But again, if you're built for it, you're built for it.
Yeah, you work different. Like I said, I worked in the fields. People are gonna be like, yeah, right, bro. But I really did. My grandfather, when he was still alive, you know, he wanted us to understand the value of hard work. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't really come from a low income, more middle class. Mm-hmm. My father is a truck driver as well. So I get that, you know. And then now he started his own company down the road. He started off initially starting as a young career in the beer industry as well, you know, and so, which can be a very great career. I think people don't take enough, because there's a lot of truck drivers out there, bro. Like, especially in our area, a lot of friends of mine truck drive, bro, and they have their own companies and they do really well for themselves. Yeah. I think people don't understand the hard work that you guys do. You get up really early. You told me that, but truck drivers get up super early. Like they're getting up at 1, 2 in the morning to get where they need to go. Because you guys, I mean, obviously with the beer industry is a little different.
Yeah. Everyone has their own.
Your schedule's pretty much set, which is pretty cool. Yeah. But if you're out there grinding, you have your own company, you have to be in line somewhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're there late, bro, if you're there at 7 when it opens, you're not leaving till 11, 12 at night. Now you're only going to do one load.
Right.
And I got to learn that early, you know, and I understand it. I could never truck drive. I was telling you right now, like, bro, I just not a good driver, you know, and I don't like it, but I really appreciate the grind of you guys. And I really want to, it's kind of, I get to knock a couple birds out one stone, because a lot of people have been reaching out to me like, you need to be a truck driver on. So look at, now I got a podcast and a truck driver. Bro.
There you go.
So I'm knocking it out.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You're a jack of all trades.
Oh, for sure. I've heard that all my life. Like, people see me and they're like, well, I never would have expected this from you. Like, you do this, you do that. And I was just like, yeah. And everybody's just like, what the fuck? Like, Martin's doing this. And again, like,
because I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
26.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you're a baby, bro. That's good. I mean, that's awesome, bro. Like that is at 26 years old. I could not have handled a podcast. You know, so I give you a lot of props.
I appreciate it, man. And you know, we from doing this, we know what it takes. We know that
I'm learning. You know, you got 3 years. This is I'm barely 6-7 months.
No,
in.
man, but you're big.
But
you're huge. You're huge here in your community. You're big. That's how I recognize your grind, and I respect your grind.
Appreciate it.
Because there's so many people out there that are in Fresno, and I don't mean to badmouth anybody, but that are in Fresno that just don't respect the game, or they don't show themselves the full effect of like, hey, this is what it takes. Some people go in there thinking like they're all high and mighty. And they think that they're all high and mighty. And I hate that. I hate when people have so much animosity and there's no help. So with Broke Boys, I made sure that I wanted Broke Boys to be almost like a funnel. You come in and you're going to get met with a lot of positivity from the community, bringing the community in and showcasing who you are. I'm not here looking for like, hey, you got the following, you got the numbers, then you can come on. No, I don't care if you have 10,000 followers. I don't care if you got 1 follower. At the end of the day, it's, hey, you want to come here and you want to talk to and tell your story. And if you need some traction or some help starting off your career, your music career, or, you know, content creating career, whatever it is, then by all means, I'm willing to help anybody. That's the connection that I've created.
No, I like that, bro. I think when I first got into Instagram, we followed each other. And I saw you at a lake. And so I was like, what? And I was like, dang, that's cool. Yeah. And at the time, you know, as you get involved, and we'll get to know more about how you started and how you evolved what you are today. And I want to know, I kind of have an idea how Broke Boys the name was created, but you can kind of tell that too. Yeah. But we were in Bass Lake. We were doing Tom Herman at the time. And shout out to Matt, by the way. He was helping us out at the time. And I understand that on this pathway, and I want to touch on real fast about a little bit about the people in Fresno. Yeah, I can tell you, at 26 years old, bro, you wouldn't have liked the 26-year-old version of me. We wouldn't have got along, right? Because I was everything that you're telling me how people are interacting. That was me, right? I was super arrogant, super entitled, thought I knew everything, right? Like you do when you're younger. Yeah. Most people do, and I try to take everything in. I'm not saying, oh, I'm still learning, but don't get me wrong. I'll still here and tell you like, that guy's full of shit, bro. You know, whatever. But I try my hardest to understand, like, okay, where did I come from? Right. I used to be in those shoes.
And you know, when we were talking earlier, and you said life humbled you, I relate to that because life humbled me at a very early age too. And so that's why, like, I feel like I am who I am now today, because there's people that, you know, like yourself, that are saying like, dude, you're different at your age. Like, I was doing this.
I really do want to give you props, yeah, because it's not what people think.
And again, like I said, like it was just because I went through a lot and I learned a lot. You got to take those lessons, and God presents a lot of lessons and trials in your life and obstacles. Whether it's like seeing like He's gonna test you. Hey, how committed are you? Yeah. How much are you willing?
How bad do you want this?
Exactly.
Yeah. And let me throw this at you. Yeah. And then see how you respond.
Right. And then for 3 years, like a podcast, like people see the positives of it, but they never see the work. The work. They never see the long nights. They never see like how hard I had it, how much I had to battle my own depression, my own anxiety, how much I had to deal with a lot of the drama and behind Broke Boys. Yes. And a lot of the hate and hatred towards my character. And a lot of people they don't see that. And a lot of people are like, oh shit, like that shit happened to you? Yeah. It's like, well, you don't know. Because I never wanted to showcase that. Yeah. I wanted to, hey, I'm still pushing forward. Hey, I'm still moving on. Hey.
Nah, you have a lot of positive vibes. I'll tell you that. Thank you, from your experiences. I tell you, I usually, when I meet people, I know if they're genuine or not. Right. And that's a gift of discernment as I've learned as I'm growing. But I know right away if I want to work with you or I don't. And that's not a knock to anybody in general. Like I try to tell you real straight up, I can meet a huge influencer, and if I meet him off camera, if they want, once the camera turns on and they want to be, oh, what's up, bro? And then everyone think that they're cool. But when that thing turns off, they're not. Like, whatever. I'm not going to work with you. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I want it to be authentic, real, raw. I want to really show like, okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to knock anybody, but like, I haven't got a lot of love from like my hometown or even in here, like on this town. Like Not saying that
No,
people
no.
haven't supported.
Trust me, I 100% understand you. It's not until this year that I've gotten love from Fresno.
Yeah.
Let's make that very clear.
Yeah, no, and that's why I want to talk about it. Yeah.
Like Broke Boys got a lot of love from other places, other platforms, not even from Fresno. There was very few people that were listening and very few people that would recognize. Like I would go out in public and be like, oh shit, like I listened to your podcast. And again, I knew that they were listening because back then I only did audio.
Yeah.
I didn't do like video yet.
That's crazy.
That's how I started because I tried to do video and audio together. But again, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah. It makes me feel good too hearing you tell me when we talked the other day on the phone. You're like, bro, I started on my phone and I was trying to, because I was like, my wife has to do the iPad and you know we can only do X amount. But we were learning, like when we got the iPad, we got 5 so you can only transfer like literally one video at a time.
Right.
But I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
What it takes behind closed doors, right? So going into it, when I started Broke Boys, it was
so now let me touch on this real fast.
Right.
So how did Broke Boys become? I know it was 3 years ago, but you obviously, touching in, you're in the fields, Central East, you graduated, you did your associates, your brother-in-law told you to go be a truck driver, you got in that. So how did like podcasting come up? And then tell us how Broke Boys name started. Or how did you come up with that name?
That's an easy one, man. Like there used to be a group of us. There used to be a bunch of us. And unfortunately, ties, don't align. People don't align when you get into a certain aspect of life, and everyone goes through different seasons. So when I started this initially, and I kept telling everybody, come on, let's do it. Like we had so many deep conversations. They used to come over to my house. My boys, everybody knew that my house was the hangout spot.
Okay.
Because it was, this whole idea started during COVID.
Okay.
We would always come to my house, drink, get high, again, because we were young.
Yep.
And we just had so much fucking fun. And we would go out to parties. We would go out and do some stupid shit, do some crazy shit. Again, we were all boys. Like we were all having fun. And I'm never going to forget all the times that we would just chill on my porch and we would just be, hey, having deep conversations, leaning on one another, opening up about, our depression. And again, like during COVID, I mean, COVID was a huge, shift in the world.
I believe so. Yes.
Because, hey, social distancing, no gatherings, and you don't know what's going to happen. There was people dying left and right because of COVID. And there was people that didn't believe that COVID was a thing.
That's true.
Again, like it was just a world full of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And, we leaned on each other during this whole time. And, with a lot of them, without spilling a lot of their family drama, but a lot of them, they couldn't lean on their family. So who would they lean on the friend group? So, and I would lean on them. They were my boys and they would lean on me. And again, like it was all love. Eventually got to the point where we were like, come on, man, let's just do it. Let's say, fuck it. Let's do it. And we would not do it. Nobody would buy the equipment. Nobody was like down for it. It was always like the idea of it, the beauty of it. And it never came up. And then I was like, well, whatever. Then, we're trying to figure out our lives. And eventually, like, I'm trying to figure out my life, trying to go into trucking, trying to work another job. And it gets to a point where I'm like on the phone with one of my homeboys. And I'm like, you know what, man? We always talk about this shit. We're on the phone. We've been on the phone for 3 hours. Why don't we just do it? Why don't we just pull the trigger and buy the equipment? It doesn't have to be anything expensive. I was like, let's just fucking see what we can find.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know. He was super hesitant. He was just like, well, I'm not working, man. Like, I don't got the money right now. And I was just like, well, I got it. Like, I'm pretty sure like we can find something for like $60. It doesn't have to be something crazy. And he was like, well, if you get it, like maybe like, I was like, well, we'll see. And then I saw something on Amazon and it was like the most shittiest equipment that you can think of. And it was for $60. And I was just like, 2 microphones. Fuck it. Let's fucking roll with it. Let's try it. Paid for it. I tested it out. The very first episode on Broke Boys. I'm never going to regret it because it's beautiful. Even though it was long as fuck and we had no idea what the fuck we were doing, but it's beautiful because it's the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
We sat there for 3 hours, not knowing what the fuck we were talking about. We were just talking. And I think I edited it and I brought it down to like almost 2 hours or something less. But I was just like, wow, like I didn't know what
It's out there right
I
now?
was doing. Yeah, it's out there right now. I never took it down.
That's cool.
I left it there. It's still season 1,
Episode
episode
1.
1.
Got it.
And I was just like, I feel bad listening to it back now because like you hear the difference of the quality of the mic.
Yeah.
And
then yourself too, as a podcaster and an interviewer, how much you've grown.
Yeah, for sure. And like I still listen to some of the old episodes because it just brings back the nostalgia. And then you see the way that it progressed throughout my life. And then I remember like, wow, like I remember I was going through this. I remember this was happening at the same time. And again, like that's when Broke Boys was born, in between me and this other friend. And my manager, he was always behind the scenes and he was always like, hey, like I love that you guys are doing it, but he couldn't be on the platform because his schedules was all out of whack at the time. But we would have him on. DJ would be on and we would feature him on different episodes because we were like, we're just having fun. Like once we started advertising it and talking to people about it, some people were like, damn, you have a podcast? We're like, yeah, we do. We were like confident and happy about it. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't like, but it was just ours.
Yeah.
And that was like the spark of it. So one day we're thinking about the name and Broke Boys from Fresno. We were like, well, we talk a lot about breaking generational curses. We talk about a lot about we are broke financially, but we're also broken souls. We're also dealing with a lot mentally. We're also dealing with a lot spiritually. So let's say Broke Boys. And then from Fresno, because we were all from Fresno. So that clicked perfectly. And even at the same time, like you see people like that are big already, like the Nelk Boys, that are huge on YouTube.
Oh,
and they have their own platform.
Kyle and all those guys.
Yeah. So then we were like, okay, they got the Nelk Boys. Let's switch the S to Z. Broke Boys. We left it at that. Broke Boys from Fresno.
Okay. Yeah. And then and obviously the buddy that you initially started with, it fell off and it just became now you.
Yeah. So the thing is like,
how do you get it? Okay. My question is you is when you're starting, how do you get a manager? Like, how did that even happen?
During that with DJ, that whole thing with him being my manager now, that started season 3 when I had to deal with everything with dog days and all that.
So this is just recent.
This is recent.
Okay.
Before, like I didn't have a manager.
That makes sense then.
Again, like I didn't know what I was doing. So again, like when I started the podcast, I still didn't know what I was doing. I was like trying to figure out equipment, trying to figure out editing time. And again, like I'm working full time. I'm working 2 different jobs. And my old co-host, he was unemployed. He had enough time. So I was like, hey man, like, can you figure out editing? Can you figure out all this stuff? And he just wouldn't give me any help. And that wasn't the issue. The issue was like, hey, like he lived pretty far from where I lived at. And there'd be times to be like, like, hey bro, like, I ain't got no money for gas. I ain't got no this. Like, all right, bro, like, what you need? I'll shoot you money for gas. I'd pay for his meals. I'd, we're gonna hang out. But then just again, like he just had a lot of lack of motivation in his own life. And they came to a point, again, I don't want to really talk more about the drama.
No, yeah,
because
for sure.
I've already moved on from it. I let it go. I got love for him. Hey, bless his journey. I wish him nothing but the best. But at the same time, like he did me dirty. So he had used his own grandma's sickness for a leverage, and asked for money. And me, as being a generous person and being like the brother that we claim to be, I was like, well, hey, I'll help you out. I'll shoot you whatever you need. The very next day, he's just in Fresno spending the money that I gave him. And that's where it kind of was just like
the turning point
for me. Cause I was like, hold on, man. And I confront him about it. And he comes up with these excuses, tries to lie about it. And I was just like, nah, man, like be upfront. I'd rather you be upfront and be honest than to you sit there and lie to my face. Because you could be honest and we could let it go. I could let it go, squash it, whatever. It is what it is.
That little saying, money comes and goes.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I never saw anybody's value in money. Like you'll get it back. Does it hurt? True. Yeah, it does hurt, but that's not the forefront.
Yeah.
So again, like he just wasn't taking accountability and doesn't contact me for like a week. When I finally get back into contact, I tell him like, bro, come on, we got to hash this out. Cause you're still my boy. Let's figure this out. And, you know, he apologized. He was very apologetic. It was hard at the time because it was super emotional. Because that betrayal, I mean, you never get to experience like that. I've experienced betrayal like that before, but to that extent, to that point where it's just like, whoa, like I can't believe it. But again, at first it was ending on good terms. You know, he apologized. He takes full responsibility. He takes accountability for his actions, you know, and then he was just like, you know, I wish you nothing but the best in your journey and X, Y, and Z. The whole time I'm there with my girl and my girl's listening to the whole conversation as well. And I want to make sure that that's a key point to this whole story because we finished our phone call with it being mutual. I respect you, bro. Hey, you know, you'll hit me when you got the money, whatever it is. Like the money, it is what it is. I respect, but I got love for you. I got respect for you. And he was like, yeah, I'm in your corner always. I'm going to root for you. You're always going to be my boy, my brother. You were there for me when nobody else was there for me. Cool. We left it there on good terms. So I thought. He calls another friend right after we get off the phone. He said, Martin kicked me off the fucking podcast. He said that I stole money from him. He said that I was fucked up to him. X, Y, and Z. Starts listing, going spiral, takes it to the internet. And I'm like, wow. Like, you want to play that game. You want to play a victim.
Yeah.
And again, I don't really want to
I know.
dive more into it because, hey, like, he's irrelevant now. I got love for him. Hey, to this day, I got no hatred towards him. I wish them nothing but the best in his path and his journey.
The hardest part, honestly, Martin, is forgiveness. You know
that
because I'm going to touch on the next subject after your conversation. But go ahead.
That was hard, man. Forgiveness was hard. Letting go was hard. Moving on was hard.
Because one of the things that you touched on that I want to touch back on, and you talked about broke boys, but it's also not just it's the name is about the generational curses, you know, being broke, you know, the spiritual battles, all that.
Yeah.
Being betrayed, you know. So my thing is like, what is your relationship like with the Lord? You know, where does it stand now today? Obviously, you could talk about how it's progressed because I could see it. I'm talking to you now. I could feel the maturity in you, you know. Obviously, we all go through our own struggles.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did notice that I never really could do in the past is I didn't really have social media. So I couldn't take anything to social media.
Right.
But I was not dumb. I would see like family members of my own kind of when they would going through things and they would take it there.
Yeah.
And I always noticed how it hurt certain family members.
Yes.
And I could tell you right now, like I'm going through something with some of my family. But I'll say it on this podcast when they watch it, like I got nothing but love for my family, bro.
Right.
Like I would not be where I'm at today without my family.
Absolutely.
Now, wherever God is doing for me and with me, through me, I'm going through the battles and the struggles. Yeah. A lot of it, I tell myself, like I put myself in this situation. So it comes back down to like accountability, you know, hey, it's funny because I had a friend come at me one day. I was talking, you know, and a lot of times and I'm going to try to mainly like, guess be on the other side real quick for the guy is a lot of times we are like, we put pity on ourselves. We're the victim. Yeah. You know, we play victim right away.
Yeah.
And my buddy was like, bro, he starts naming all the stuff. He's like, you're in the situation, bro, because of you.
Right.
You left the department. You did this. Right. You did that. You know, like I'm not gonna sit here and hear you pity about what you did to yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the first time in a long time that I was like, wow. I took that information and I was like, that's so right. That's true.
Yeah.
And I had to take accountability and accept that all the situations I was in was because of me.
Yeah.
So hopefully your friend, and after that we'll touch the next subject, is in time, because as you've forgiven, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to forgive.
Nope.
And I think a lot of times is when you have issues with truly like your family, and I say even your friends that are your family, a lot of it is like misinformation.
Yeah.
It's a what's the word I want to say? Like it's a misunderstanding. Like the people don't really understand. Like they may think, oh, Martin's pissed at me.
Right.
They may not know, bro. You may be like, bro, just come to me and just be real with me, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, I think pride comes into us men,
ego,
us Mexican men, right?
Yes.
And I can say that because we're both Mexican, right? And it's the thing is like that's the biggest thing is pride and ego for us, and we don't know how to tell our like maybe that person's sorry or generally mean like, hey, I effed up, it's me, because that takes once again the maturity. Like I tell you, 26, bro, we wouldn't have got along, right? You know, we probably would have been like, oh, nah, I ain't gonna mess that dude. Right. You know, like, hey, what's up? But that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's it. And so, but anyways, I want to touch on that real fast because it does take time.
No,
you know? Being 26, I'm pretty sure your buddy's just about the same age.
Yeah.
So it takes a little time, maybe down the road, bro, as you truly forgiven him. That's why I want to jump into the next topic about what's your relationship like with the Lord. Right. Maybe it'll be reunited down the road, and maybe it'll be him coming to you saying, hey, back then, bro, I wasn't mature enough to understand your friendship or your loyalty to me. Because a lot of times that really how it happens, bro. Like people do somebody dirty and we really don't. And I could say, I'm not trying to speak for everybody, but I'm just saying what I've seen. Right. It's like we don't know how to forgive after like, we've been done dirty. We're like, nah, I can't trust you. You're done. But maybe that person truly changed. And I think that's when God comes into play, bro. Like when someone really changes through the Lord, it's crazy because like it's happening to me right now. And I think a lot of people look at me and they view me as the old version of myself, which I didn't like that guy either, bro. Trust me. Like, I'm so glad that I'm going through what I'm going through. I'm learning what I'm learning. But back to now what you were telling me about what is your relationship like now with the Lord?
It's, you know, when I went through a lot of stuff, because again, that shook my core. That
I believe it.
And having to either, hey, I can either handle it like the old Martin would, violently or, you know, out of pocket, crap, whatever it is you want to do it. But and then another side with me was just like, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth, your words are not worth, you know, explaining anything. Let it run. Let them speak whatever it is.
Let it run its course.
And at the end of the day, it's I'm going to continue protecting my peace and my boundary. And I'm going to continue going. And again, I had to learn to maneuver through a lot of things during that whole thing. That was all during season 1. And a lot of people didn't. A lot of people knew that there was something wrong, but a lot of people didn't know what exactly was going on. And again,
have you ever told this or?
I never talked about it.
Well, we appreciate you.
I only talked about it and again, DJ knows everything because DJ was there. DJ experienced everything with me. And my family was all involved because I had to let them know about what was going on. Just for the simple fact that, hey, I don't want them to believe X, Y, and Z in the background. But hey, this is what happened, you know. And again, I'm glad that, you know, Kat was there for being my witness and everything. But while he kept going around and almost like having a campaign of a fuck Martin.
Like a smear campaign.
Yeah. And people were believing it. And
the beauty of it, Martin, is the truth always comes to light, brother.
Exactly. And, you know, one thing I will say is actions always speak louder than words. And I'm not going to sit here and justify X, Y, and Z. You want to believe whatever it is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, no. Like, fuck no. Believe whatever it is that you want. But at the end of the day, I'm still me. I'm still going to keep it pushing. You're not paying my bills. Your opinion doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for you, but hey, I'm going to keep it pushing.
So did you finish season 1 with him?
No.
So you like probably midway through then?
I think it was like episode 60 maybe.
Okay. Yeah. So how many seasons do you do for your season 1? Like a season?
So I was still trying to figure it out. Okay. You know, again,
I'm trying to pick your brain right now because I'm still trying to figure that out right now.
It was kind of hard, you know, because I didn't know how I was going to do seasons.
Okay.
You know, I just thought like, oh, you just do episodes and episodes.
And just keep dropping.
Just keep dropping. Yeah. Right. And it wasn't until my girlfriend was just like, excuse me. It wasn't until my girlfriend was just like, well, you see how other platforms there's organized. You know, they have season 1, episode whatever, episode 10, where season 2, episode 30. You know, it's all organized and playlisted. And she was just like, well, why don't you do that? And I was just like, well, if I do that, maybe I get to episode 100 and then boom, start season 2. And that's what I did. Once I got to episode 100 for season 1,
dude,
I was just like, okay, season 2. The thing is I cut season 2 pretty short because I was like, you know what? I don't want to get to 100 episodes every season. But because it was Broke Boy's second year, like anniversary, it was Broke Boy's second year birthday. And I was like, you know what? What if I do it every year for Broke Boys? I do the seasons. So then I cut season 2 short, and then I restarted season 3
at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then by the end of the year, you'll be to season 4 next.
Hopefully by July. Hopefully around July.
Next year of July will be season 4?
It will be season 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Broke Boys was born on July 8th, I want to say.
July 8th, what year?
2023.
Nice.
23.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I started, so I did, the reason I was doing seasons at the time was a little organization too, but like if I just have all these episodes and I'm dropping them, you know, some people drop 2 episodes a week. Mm-hmm. You know, I was thinking like 1, maybe a special drop here, you know, however, because as I'm learning and I'm growing as an influencer and a podcaster,
yeah.
And you start getting hit up by people.
Yeah.
Like I brought on Christian Johnson the other day. He's running those marathon I was talking about for Project 5077. So shout out to him for he's doing it for Parkinson's disease.
Okay.
Cool. So he's gonna run 7 contents in 7 days. Dang. So like someone like that comes on the podcast, you're gonna want to drop that podcast before his project, right?
Stuff, yeah.
And so I didn't take that into consideration at the time because I didn't really know. Remember when I first started doing this, bro? This was never supposed to be this.
Right.
It's supposed to be like. I was in law enforcement for a long time.
Right.
And like, kind of like, you know, I never thought I was going to leave that. And then, so when that happened, that's why I say God works in mysterious ways because when he wants to get your attention, bro, he's going to get your attention.
Oh, yeah.
And when he tells you he's going to eliminate certain people from your life,
exactly,
he's going to eliminate them.
Yeah.
And whether you want to agree or disagree or not agree, it's going to be God's timing, not Martin's, not Louis.
Oh, absolutely.
And so
you're 100% right.
When that kind of like, he will coordinate. So like I tell people right now, I'm gonna be honest, and I love my family, bro. Like I don't ever want them not to think that I don't. Like I'm always praying for them. I'll never bash them because I wouldn't be where I'm at today without them.
Right.
You know? And so, and at the end of the day, I think when you're a true believer of Christ and you really are a follower and you're not trying to portray or pretend, all you can do is love, especially your loved ones and your family. And if they're not saved or they don't know, it's on you to be that leader where like, okay, man, he really is a man of God. Like God is really working through him. Right. And so what I say is like, I'm kind of going through a transition where generally, like I told you, bro, 26, that's why I give you so much props, bro.
Appreciate
because the Lord is working on you at a young age. Once again, everything happens differently, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone is different.
At the end of the day, everything happens for a reason.
And everything happens for, dude, right now, I'm in a stage right now and I'll kind of maybe like, cause you dropped a little bit of your knowledge here and like, breaking news, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been in conversations to kind of go back into corrections. And so like if I do that though, am I going to still be able to podcast?
Right.
I don't know. You know, I really don't know, but there's so much stuff in the background brewing right now in my stuff that it's like, I really got to have faith and just trust God. And so I pray and he's continuing to put me in rooms and that I never would have imagined.
Yeah.
But I had to truly lean on him because income, money, bro, God is so powerful that one day if he wanted to be like, okay, boom, there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bless you.
Yeah.
Well, we're blessed with that. We don't understand. We're blessed regardless.
Yeah.
Like I this home, I shouldn't be in this home. Hearing you come in and be like, man, I like this setup. Like I was thinking like, I need to get in the studio. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, no, bro, like I'm actually happy now.
Yeah.
When I'm hearing other people like, oh, it's a pretty nice setup. You know, like I'm blessed to say, hey, I got this setup.
Yeah.
You know, and
no, you do, man. It's always the little things that you got to focus on. Because again, you started from the bottom too.
We're still there.
Yeah.
You know, we're coming up slowly.
Yeah. No, and you guys are up. Never forget that.
Yeah.
Never forget that. For me, you know, with my platform, like I can honestly say that you are much further than I was ever. Trust me. Back then, you guys' social media account's almost at 1,000.
Yeah.
Huge close. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Because I never got to 1,000 until like I was in my second year, I think. But again, it was just because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
now you're at what, 550, almost 5,500, no?
I think I'm at 4 or something.
Oh, 4? I thought you were in the 5s.
No.
Well, almost at 5. 4. That's still...
Yeah. That's with the social media, you know, like Listening over 5.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Streaming and all that, it's over 5, which is a blessing.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody that listens. I appreciate everybody that's, been along the journey, the ride.
Yes.
Because again, a lot of people, they see it and they're like, what the fuck? Yeah, you're crazy. You're going up. And it's just like, no, I'm still the same.
Well, what tripped me out, dude, is like, look at bro, you met the guy the other day on The Voice from Fresno. He's still on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool, bro. Like and that's because now that I know you just got your manager. So like kind of break it down a little bit. Well, let's finish. We're kind of jumping because I'm getting a little excited. But let's talk about finishing about your relationship with the Lord, because you were kind of talking about that. But let's finish first.
Again, like I questioned it when I was going through everything, when I was going through hell. Because again, like I wasn't just dealing with that whole drama. I was also dealing with, again, my relationship. I was also dealing with my family issues.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that I never shined light, but I did talk about, again, my own stuff, my own dark thoughts. And a lot of people would ask me, like, when did Broke Boys become self-love? And I said, right after that. I was like, it became self-love on its own. Because I used to make a lot of reels and TikToks and of, self-love talks, whatever it is. I mean, you check the page, I still got it. Yeah. Because that's what I wanted to put out. And a lot of people thought that it was like, oh, no, you're doing it to catch an audience. I was like, no, realistically, I'm doing it for me. I was like, because I would post something that I would feel, and I'd be like, you know what, I want to share this. And I love creating the content that I did. And for me to share that, like, it was just a blessing. And again, it became self-love. Broke Boys became self-love on its own.
That's awesome, bro. Like, I started, you have TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
I got to get your TikTok before you leave.
Yeah.
I started on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I started doing like you said, little self-love videos. And my thing is, when I started this, like I said, I thought it was gonna be law enforcement, but I had a bad gambling problem. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, boom, boom, boom. So when it comes to money, and that's why I say I don't take offense to my family, because I know they're just concerned, like, where are you going to get money and this? A lot of people don't understand is, like, when I left Good Guys, I thought I had a deal in place where we were going to have money coming in.
Right.
Then everything kind of fell apart, and I learned the politics. But then it comes back down to, when you become a true believer, like I was trying to tell you, you kind of, like, I don't know if you've ever heard this term, but it's a jail term. You kind of become like a J-cat, bro, like kind of a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like, people start like, hey, bro, you're gonna lose your home, or you're how you gonna feed your family? How you gonna get this? And it's like, bro, God's gonna provide.
No, yeah,
God will provide. Trust me.
And you know what it is starting it right. You start a platform. I know that I am a strong believer that God's just gonna show you what's the taste of it gonna be like. Because like when I did my first event to go out to Art Hop, we met this news reporter, Kobe. I don't know if you know who he is on Channel 24. But he's always, been throughout. Kobe, yeah.
The little guy with glasses?
Yeah.
He's on 26.
26?
He's the weatherman, and he's the anchor now.
Yeah. So we met him. And
cool guy.
Cool dude, cool cat. And then
us brought him on the platform.
Oh, I tried. Oh. Again, this was very early stages. And we were out in Art Hop, and there was a few people that knew us, and they were like, yo, it's the Broke Boys. And that just lit a fire in us, because we were like, what the fuck? We're not even like huge. We only got like 100 followers at the time, right?
Yeah.
And we just felt like so much like love and support. And then that feeling was the feeling I was just like, I want to have that feeling one day again.
That's tight, bro.
And
Kobe, you got to come on, Broke Boys.
And we didn't get a lot of recognition until like, years keep going. And again, I felt like it was just God's like, hey, I'm gonna give you a taste of this. How true are you to stick to your path?
Yeah.
Let me put this right here.
How much faith and belief do you have in yourself and in me, meaning him? Because that I will tell you that, like, that I'm gonna kind of, I just the other day on Halloween, bro, I had a couple Mendota kids were here, and they're like, hey, you're from Mendota, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm from Mendota. They're like, when are you gonna drop the Mendota Wrestling podcast? I was like, it's gonna drop soon. By the way, it's gonna drop soon, Carlos and Tony. But and the thing that made me feel so like, man, like, yes, like, this is why I do it, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I can't wait for one day to be on your podcast.
Yeah. And
I was like, because he's a freshman right now. I was like, just keep grinding, bro. And by the time you're a senior, I'll have you on.
Yeah.
I was like, I won't forget that. But that's where like what we do this for, bro. That moment right there.
It's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, it made my night, bro.
Oh, I can only imagine, bro. Like it makes my heart warm when like now like I go anywhere and they're like, "Yo, it's the Broke Boys." What's up,
no, that's
like,
tight. That's
and
awesome.
they come, they dab me up, and I have no idea who you are. Like,
Yeah,
I feel bad, but it's just like, hey,
But as you grow, you're gonna build I don't want to call them fans, a following.
Yeah,
you're gonna build a following.
Just a following or support. I see it
support.
As support.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily like saying fans unless it's the people that stalk you. You know.
Yeah.
And you know that hate you. Then those are the fans that I like to say.
No, yeah, I agree. I remember like going back real quick to Concrete. My buddy Oscarin is a big influencer, bro. Mm-hmm. And we were in line to meet Concrete, and he had hit up Concrete, and I guess Concrete was big. Didn't get back to him until after, but he got back to him, right? But people started coming up to him, bro. Hey, let me take a picture. Let me get a picture. Let me get a picture. And then he's like, hey, I'm gonna bounce. Not because they think he just like. It's a little overwhelming because now everyone's hitting him up in the line, and he's like, I don't want to bring attention. It's Concrete's night, and he ended up leaving. And then my other buddy's like, I'm gonna leave too. And then me and my wife were right there, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, we'll it is an uncomfortable feeling sometimes when you get overwhelmed with it. Like we were at Dog Days, and I'm grateful that we had security. I'm grateful that we had people that were there that like, hey, watching, making sure people don't come around us. But having people come up to you and be like, hey, can I take a picture? Hey, can I take a picture with you, Martin? Like that just like lit up my heart so much because I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then next thing you know, to have high profile names that are huge rappers in the game already, and they're like, hey, let me hop on your platform. I'm like, oh shit. And then on the spot, no time to know who these guys are, no time to have a conversation like we did before we started.
Yeah.
Again, it was like, okay, let's have a seat.
That's crucial, guys. So he's thinking on the fly. So you guys got to see that skill right there. Like I like to have a pre-interview because it's not as easy.
No,
sometimes it's not that natural.
Nope.
It takes a little while to,
if you can't click with them,
bro,
it's hard.
So I just want to give you the props because if now we get to see that you're kind of like on the fly with rap, like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's not easy, bro.
No, and the thing is like you have to keep yourself level headed.
Yeah,
because you want to geek out. I was like trying myself not to geek out.
Yeah,
but then I'm like, damn, I'm seeing them. They got big ass chains. They're like, high, like big ass names, and I'm like, okay, all right. Let's calm down. Let's focus. Let's get yourself together. Get locked in the game. Boom. And one of them that I always bring up is Baby Gas. Baby Gas is a humble cat, bro. Really appreciate him. And he actually gave me some love. Like he was just like, dude, like I know what you do for the city. I see what you've been doing. I appreciate it. Keep doing. Keep grinding. There's plenty in this podcast game. He's like, maybe one day I'll have you on. And I was just like,
he has a podcast too?
Yeah, he has a podcast.
Nice.
He has a huge platform back in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And again, I'm like,
and Bay Area is loyal, bro. They will freaking follow you till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. And I was blessed to have that moment.
That's awesome, brother.
And again, like after that, like I was like, whoa. And I even told my manager, I was just like, yeah, that's crazy. And he's like, yeah, we were taking pictures. Everybody was taking pictures of you. That's another thing too, is like once you sit down in the chair and you're just focusing on the camera, right? And next thing you know, I'm seeing like 20 heads surrounding the booth with their phones, like flash on, taking pictures, and it's just like, yo, like, and again, you have to be level headed because you're trying to have a conversation with them, trying to be, on the fly with it quick. And I'm blessed.
And the emotions could probably get to you too,
Yeah.
Because you're probably thinking like, I mean, in a way, honestly, like, dang, I made it. Like,
and I never wanted to be like that or say that.
I'm just saying it because I'm trying to be real, bro. Let's just be honest.
No, and I appreciate you for saying that. I just didn't want to say it at that point. But I remember after the fact, I was just like, I need to use the restroom. And I go into the restroom and I'm just like, just letting it out, bro. Because I'm not going to lie, like a little bit of teary eyed, like just out of love, out of the love from the city and the love from the people. That was huge for me.
Yeah, no.
And it's such an overwhelming feeling because again, I've been doing this for 3 years and not getting a lot of attention in the city was kind of hard.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, no, people notice the motion. People see what I've been doing. People noticing. They're like, you're fucking good, bro.
You're grinding.
You're grinding.
Yeah, I like it. Dude, I tell you, like, I was talking to some people the other day and like, kind of like, even like you, when you tell me like, nah, bro, you're big. It's like, no, we're not. But I really think about like, I guess it's called imposter syndrome.
It is.
We're not trying to really like, but it's like sometimes you gotta. have the other people kind of hype you up, like, nah, bro, like, you know, if that's what's going on and people are surrounding you and they're like in a low key way, you made it. And I want to talk about real fast because you did the fair this year, right?
Yeah, I did the fair.
And then you got to get the guy that's on The Voice.
Yeah, so we were invited the night of R&B.
And that's awesome, bro. Like, and that's something like, okay, you were invited to the Fresno Fair. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, again, like people had and again, I'm so grateful. Shout out to Brad. Because again, he had hit me up Friday night and I was working. And then once I was just like, yo, who's this? And he's just like, hey, like I would love for you to come through. And I was just like, yo, what the heck? So I screenshot and I sent it to my manager. I'm like, look at this. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, let's do it. And I was just like, hell yeah. What he didn't realize is that he had a wedding that day. And I was just like, hey, bro, we got to take this opportunity. That's another thing that I would love to talk about is sacrifice. There's a lot of things that we've sacrificed. Holidays, birthdays, you know, being there for certain people, certain loved ones. It sucks. I hate it. I hate that I'm not able to be there, but at the same time, it's sacrifice. You really want to be there, you might miss an opportunity.
That's true.
And I took the opportunity because I was just like, nah, like I gotta go. If you're not gonna go, then I gotta go. And we were trying to communicate with the content and trying to have, you know, someone help us out. And then again, like we were trying to reach out with other people and it just wasn't working. And I was just like, fuck. And then he was like, bro, it's just not meant to be. And I was like, I can't do that. I was like, me personally, DJ, I was just like, we cannot do that. We already agreed with the promoter. We should have just said it from the get, but we already said that we were going to do it. So we got to do it. Because not, what does that look like for us? And he was just like, nah, you're right. You know what? All right, let's go. Let's figure this out and trying to adjust to it. Right. And so it's me, Kesey, and DJ. Kesey is a creative director for Dog Days. He helped us out. I love Kesey to death. So it's all three of us. You know, I picked them up. We all go and we're going to the fair. And, you know, we're trying to get into the fair. It's popping. It's packed. They said they left their names at the door. So we're trying to go into the doors. And they're like, no, you got to go to this gate. Then you got to go to this gate. Nah, it's not over here. Go to this gate. And we're just running around. We're trying to get through. And finally we get to the gate where we're supposed to be at. And then they're like, I'm sorry, I can't let you in. You guys have to have a wristband. And I was just like, our names are just at the gate, right? And then she's like, nah, I can't let nobody get in. Like, you know, and I was just like, all right, hold on. And then DJ's already kind of frustrated. He's like, you know what, man? Like, it's just not meant to be, bro. Let's just go home. And I was like, hold on, man. Let me give the promoter a call. I call him, literally, instantly picks up. I would think like he's super busy. He's dealing with X, Y, and Z, you know, with the performances and everything must be going on crazy backstage. And he's just like, come to this gate. There's going to be a security waiting for you. Okay. We get to the gate. Sure enough, we get escorted from one gate to the back with everybody else in the backstage.
Dang.
With all the performers.
That's awesome.
And so we're having a conversation with him. And he's just like, oh, like I always bring out my own bottle of tequila. Do you guys take shots? I don't like to drink. But for a special occasion, I'll do one. So I took a shot with him and we were just, you know, conversating, having the time of our lives, enjoying life. And next thing you know, he's just like, come backstage right here to the side. This is called, I think he said the pit, where he has all the DJ equipment and everything's playing, the thing that controls the lighting, the sound effects, everything. And I see Ralph Edwards just sitting there, just chilling. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy. And I told my manager, I was like, that's the guy from The Voice. And he's like, no way. And then we see Lloyd, Mario. They're walking past us to go to their dressing room. And we see Mia May. And we're like, yo, what the fuck are we? And I was just like, we're in this opportunity of a lifetime. And we're just backstage. And then we see other content creators. We see B95. And again, we're just like starstruck. Mm-hmm. Brad goes up to Ralph and he's like, hey, Ralph, this is Martin from Boyz from Fresno. And introduces me. Gets up, dabs. He's just like, oh, shit. Like, okay. You know, gives us a lot of love. You know, we're having a conversation. We're talking to Ralph. And then he was like, oh, it was a blessing meeting you guys, you know, and just we went our way, right? I was just like, wow, I had a conversation with Ralph Edwards. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
We're chilling on the side. And then next thing you know, we're just getting content. We're videoing. We're just grabbing the content that we want. And he comes back, walks back up to me, and he grabs me on the shoulder. And he's just like, how would you like to be on stage with me? I was like, huh? Like on stage? He's like, yeah, I'm going to call you guys in. You know, you guys come up to the stage and help me perform. I was like, what you want us to do? Like break dancers? And he's just like laughing. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going to call you guys up. Y'all can just be on stage with me. He was like, it'll help me out. All right. He was just like, cool. So there's a video that I posted. And
I saw it.
And it's when he's just like, you know, before I start this song, I just need the broke boys from Fresno to come out up here. We get up there and everybody goes crazy. And I was just like, what the fuck? And the whole time you're just in awe, like, what the hell? And then there's people at this VIP section and they're like, what the fuck is broke boys yelling? And they're just like, you know, and it gave me a lot of love to my heart. And then people were tagging me that were in the crowd, you know, taking pictures, tagging me, being like, what the fuck, you're on stage? And like, it lit up my heart a lot. And we were just on stage with Ralph while he did his whole set. And it was insane to be a part of. And I'm forever going to be grateful for that. And to this day, you know, shout out to Ralph Edwards.
Yeah, shout out to him. He's from Fresno, right?
From Fresno.
And so he's still on The Voice.
Yeah.
I believe he's on Snoop Dogg's team.
Yes.
And so that's crazy how like he's there. Once again, I guess I'm tying my favorite verse. Isaiah 60:22. Mm-hmm. When the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. Yep. Your timing is just kind of falling right in. And I think that has a lot to do with your maturity, your forgiveness of, you know, the situation and the way your heart has transpired to people, because God's going to put you in rooms and with people that, you know, we don't belong in, bro. Yeah. Like, what do we do? Like you said, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
I think people got to really see that. They're going to be like, you know, I saw it. I just thought you were there because you were there, you know, like you were meant to be there, you know, and really you were, because the promoter hit you up and it's crazy. You guys almost didn't make it because you're like, it's not meant for us.
Yeah.
But you just stayed consistent. You made the phone call. And I think that's what people don't quite understand is like a lot of things that transpire back, you know, in the background and things that are happening with us is that we want to give up. And that's why last night I just put, if you want to do it, just do it.
Yeah.
Like you got to just do it every day, grind. And it's not easy. There's going to be days where the enemy comes and the attacks come, the depression comes, you know, the mood's not right, or I don't want, like with me, I feel like when you podcast, I don't know how you are but I have to be mentally ready to podcast.
Okay.
Because I have to make sure that I'm going to be genuine with you, conversate with you. Like I was telling you yesterday, like the one thing I kind of don't like about working with the news stations now is like they want you to kind of cram podcasts in. Podcast is not cramming.
Nope.
You know, it's more like you want to give the person their time. Yeah. You want to kind of pre-interview a little bit, make them feel comfortable. I think when people think about a podcast, I think that we're going to come on, I'm going to set you up for questions and you're going to be like, well, you know, no, it's not an interrogation.
Yeah.
It's something that I want to promote you on. I want you to feel good. I want you to look good.
Absolutely.
So I want to make sure you're comfortable, right?
Absolutely.
And if I'm not there mentally, bro, I'm not going to be, oh, hey, what's up, bro? And so that's why it's like sometimes I feel like I had to be there, and it's not as easy as it looks, you know, especially if you're struggling or you're going through something. But that's kind of crazy how you break that story down, because I literally thought like, oh, no, I just thought you were that big, bro. Like, I'm not saying you're not, but you're getting there. Oh, yeah. I thought you were just always backstage and you were just always at places. And
no, and again, like I'm not partnered up with no promoter. I'm not partnered up with no, you know, high influencer or anything like that. It's just me.
Yeah,
it's just me, my manager, and my media team, basically. And again, like I've been in these places solely because of the muscle that I've gained, solely because of the traction that I've done and being authentic and being raw, being natural. Because that's another thing is a lot of people have been saying is like, your content's so natural, your content's so authentic. No one is doing it kind of like how you're doing it. And which is true, because I don't see anybody else going out in public showcasing the city.
You're right.
And especially now, you know, having my boy Chango with the drone, like no one's doing that. And I only did it because I want to upscale the visuals, which is why I went from 2 episodes a week to now just 1 episode a week. because I want to focus more on the quality rather than the quantity.
Yeah.
And I want to showcase the city just the way it should be.
When do you drop your podcast?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, every Sunday, and it just depends on the time, like my upload, because that's what takes long is the upload.
Yeah. We went from Sundays, but right now, football.
Mm-hmm.
We don't try to compete with football right now, so it just depends. We try to do them like right now. I'm doing Tuesdays or Thursdays.
Yeah, and I get that. I usually do Sunday nights just because if a lot of people are going to work Monday morning, they have something to listen to while they're driving to work.
I like that.
Or they have something to listen to while they're working on Monday.
No, that's actually.
And that's what, when I was doing Thursdays and Sundays, that's what my whole philosophy was. Was for Sunday, I'm gonna drop an episode to make sure people listen to it on Monday, and then now they don't have to wait during the week. Boom, Thursday there's another episode. So because there's some people that they can listen to the full hour. There's some people that probably can't listen to the full hour, and that's another thing is people's attention span.
Yeah,
because like what grasps, what doesn't. When it comes to social media and making clips and making reels, like I always make sure that they have to be like less than 30 seconds. I don't like going over.
Yeah.
And if it's something short and sweet, it has to be 5 seconds, because you can only grasp the consumer, right, within the first 3 seconds.
Yeah, right.
Because they're quick. People are scrolling. You go on TikTok too, and you see it, and you're just watching a video and skip. Oh, you like this one? Skip. That's it.
That's true. No, you're right. I want to kind of touch on before the last part of this part one.
Mm-hmm.
You were there, and people kind of thought with the Mario incident.
Right.
They thought that was Broke Boys, but it wasn't.
It was not Broke Boys.
But you were there and you got to see it.
Yeah, I was.
So how did that go down? Because that went viral.
Yeah, it went. Yeah, I think right now it's at like 2 million views. So I knew the videographer that was on stage. We all knew, because again, we're all content creators. We all kind of know each other. So I knew Ryan right off the bat when I saw him when I got there. So we were just conversating, but Ryan was already on stage the entire night. He was doing content for Brad, the promoter, for R&B night. So he was there on stage the whole night. And there was a point where he was trying to get close shots of Lloyd. And obviously Lloyd's manager and security were there present, and they just were telling Ryan like, oh, just scoot back. Don't get too close, or keep your distance. They were just communicating that the whole time. And he was just like, okay, cool. And he didn't have really no problem with any other artists, because all the other artists, they wanted to be on camera. They wanted to be face to face with the camera. There was a point where Lloyd gets off stage and he goes to the crowd, and Ryan follows him to go to the crowd, and Ryan has the camera like in Lloyd's face, just him performing his song, and Lloyd loved it because that's what he wanted. Mm-hmm. So when it gets to Mario performing, Mario doesn't come from where everyone came from. So there was this ramp that goes up to the stage. Mario came from the middle of the stage, the main entrance, which no one did. Everybody went from the ramp.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that just caught off Ryan, but we had an episode with Ryan explaining the whole thing from his point of view. And from what he was saying, he was still getting shots, and we had different angles. I mean, everybody did. Everybody was recording. We even saw like Ryan was right behind him taking shots, doing like good photo shots and videos. And it gets to the point where he kicks him off stage. My guys, DJ and Kesey, were in front of the stage. And we got a good video of the whole thing as well. I think I put it in the episode.
Okay.
And I was backstage with Ralph. And me and Ralph were just enjoying, vibing the music, right? And next thing you know, we hear him like, hey, get the fuck off the stage. Ooh, when that atmosphere changed, it changed. Like the whole crowd kind of went like from cheering to just like dead fucking quiet. And like, and then me and Ralph were like, oh yeah, fuck that. Like that's, and then he obviously says it again, and this time says it with the N-word. And that was like a huge, like, that's fucked up. You don't do that to a person, especially like when you could have definitely just, hey, signal them up to move out the way or something, or even like signal to the security to move them, whatever it is. I mean, there was definitely ways for him to go about it. And obviously, he chose the way that he wanted. and it didn't play into his favor. But we all kind of were like, nah. At that point, that's when I was just like, you know what, man? I think I don't like that. I don't like the vibe anymore. Like it killed the mood.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I see Kesey and DJ. They're coming from the crowd. They're like, that's our cue to fucking leave. Come on, let's go. And I was just like, all right, like we're getting ready to leave. We see Ryan. Ryan's on the side talking to I think it's Mario's representative. And he's just like, apologizing for it. Hey, like that wasn't cool. I'm sorry. Trying to like,
hash it out.
And Ryan was just like, no, it's fine. Like, hey, it's business. Business is business. I got the shots that I needed. It's fine. It's whatever. He was really a good sport about it. And as I'm walking to my car, right, because we already said bye to everybody. We chopped it up with Lloyd before we left. We chopped it up with Brad and Mia May and Ralph before we all took off. And I'm walking to the car, and then I see this notification, and I see that it's the video of Mario telling him to get off stage. Now it's a collab post. So do I accept it? Do I not? Like that's where I was like, I don't know. I was kind of iffy about it because I didn't want to be in bad graces with the promoter, right? Because that's showcasing something negative.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Ryan was the one who posted it. So I was like, I just accepted it. I mean, I've been pushing Ryan's content as it is. I'm just helping him out. Not knowing that it would go viral, crazy viral. Kesey was the one that was kind of telling me like, bro, that's going to go viral. And then DJ was like, well, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, you're helping out Ryan push out his content anyways. And I was like, okay, whatever. Left it like that. And sure enough, man, 15,000 views within like the first hour. And then it just kept going. Then it was at 60. Then it was at 80. Then it was at over 150. And it just kept piling up. And then I was like, yo, this is crazy. So we're texting in the group chat like, yo, I didn't think it was going to be like that. Like this crazy. And you see the comments, they're going after Mario like crazy. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm tired from the day.
Yeah.
I get woken up to my phone buzzing. I'm like, oh, someone's calling me. No, it's straight notifications from Instagram, notifications from TikTok. Somehow, some way, there's people that thought that it was me that got kicked off stage.
Oh, shoot.
So then now I have people on my TikTok feed clowning me of like, Mario dragged you off the stage. And I'm like, I wasn't even on the stage.
Yeah.
Like, it was just funny.
It's because you accepted that collab too.
Yeah.
So they probably thought,
So
oh, shoot.
A lot of people thought about it. And I was just like, oh, shit. Like, it was not me. Like, and then you see the comments and you see people like, oh, it was Broke Boys that got kicked off. Oh, that Ryan works for Broke Boys and all this other stuff. And I was just like, bro, like, what the fuck? Some people's crazy things like, hey, is this AI? And again, it was just like, what the fuck is going on? It was funny. But we definitely faced a little bit of backlash from it. But again, it wasn't like tremendous to be like, oh shit, I'm getting canceled or anything like that. No, it was just content. At the end of the day, it was just content.
Yeah.
And what Ryan justified it as if Ryan didn't post it, somebody else was. And somebody else would have got a viral clip.
Yeah, I saw Ryan because we were at the Eagle Mountain Casino for UFC Fight Pass. Yeah. He was in there, right?
Yeah.
And then I think the
promoter, right? Or
the chairman. He's like, I'm not gonna kick you out or something like that. I was like, what? And then I because you had posted it, and that's when I saw it. And I was like, and I thought too, like, not that it was you getting. I never thought about you getting kicked off stage. I just thought, dang, was like, is he part of Broke Boys? Because I never had seen him ever on your stuff. You know, I seen you and the guy that helps you is your manager, right?
Yeah.
So when you guys do the content together, I was like, oh, okay. Because like I said, I started recently following you more this year and then seeing you do your stories. So I was like, wow. But yeah, no, bro. I mean, I feel like this is a good part one.
Yeah.
Talked a little bit about how Broke Boys was made and how, you know, where you're at. We're obviously in season 3 right now. We're going into 4 in July of next year. So July is the trademark, summertime pretty much. July is a special month for us. That's my son's birthday. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, no, bro. Anything else you want to touch on before we head off for part 1?
No, just if anything, just pursue your dreams. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't give up on it. I dove into this not knowing anything and I had to learn along the way. Whether it was sometimes I thought I was recording and I had nothing plugged in, or sometimes the microphone was corrupted, or a plug wasn't properly installed. I mean, you learn as you go, so don't get discouraged. Take the lessons and just learn from them. Learn from all the mistakes, and then don't have no fear to dive into something that you have no idea what you're doing. Just do it if this is what you really want to do.
That's so true. Like you said, you've been in this now 3 years. Mm-hmm. We've been in this 6 to 7 months. So it's like it can happen fast, and then there's the times where it kind of like slows down, right. And it's just consistency, like you said, mm-hmm. Through the rough and through the good. You gotta just kind of take it all in, and like I said, at the end of the day, really trusting the Lord and just the process.
Yeah,
right.
The process.
You got a manager at year 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like I said, we're kind of like you. We're starting off and we're collabing with who we can, getting our feet wet, getting our hands and everything that we can touch.
Yeah.
I think the niche is kind of turning into what it's turning into. Maybe one day I'll go on and talk about that on your platform.
Absolutely, whenever.
But no, guys, like we start every podcast with a Bible verse. We end with the same Bible verse. And today's Bible verse, that is to the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. It says, "Don't store up your treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal." Matthew 6:19. And with that being said, I want to thank Martin here from Broke Boys. They have a podcast. You can see it on Spotify.
On all platforms. You can go ahead and Google Broke Boys if you can't find the link. Broke Boys for Fresno, and we're everywhere. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, YouTube Music. I mean, you name it. We're on all platforms.
They're everywhere. So the goal eventually is for Insidethepodwlou to be like Broke Boys and be everywhere. But yeah, stream them, check them out, and we will talk to you very soon in the future, and look forward to maybe one day getting out there and want to do a collab out there, because you're always out there in Fresno, bro.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing I do like is that you're mobile. So maybe one of these days you can teach us how to be out there and be mobile.
Absolutely, bro.
But I want to appreciate you for stopping by, bro, and we'll talk very soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.